Welcome to the show, ladies and gentlemen. I'm joined today by Gareth Lombard, all the way from Cape Town. We're talking all things Champion Dalcha. Welcome to the show, man, and thanks very much for your time.
Thanks a lot for having me on here. It's great.
Only a pleasure, man. Like I said, we're talking all things Champion Dalcha. Obviously, the news broke that he's just signed for the UFC. You guys are obviously at the forefront of getting him there. So just tell us your role, Gareth, so people have a background as to what it is exactly you do for Champion, and how this all came about, and how you guys feeling, obviously, man.
Yeah. Well, obviously we're very excited. And can't wait just to sort of get out there and get into the UFC and into that first fight. Well, for my role. It's a little bit confusing for some people. People are like, oh, who's in his corner, who's his trainer, who's this, who's that? Like people aren't really 100% sure of our team dynamics and our setup. So basically, Team Champion is made up of a few trainers. Not all at one gym. It's moved away from the traditional one gym training, and a setup. So I manage him, and I'm also the head coach.
Okay.
So when it comes to the strategy and the game plan for the fights, we sit around the table as Team Champion. We have discussions. What should we take forward? What should we implement? And then I make sure that we're just on track with that. And each week, that the game plan is being stuck to, or if there's any niggles, if Champion's injured or anything like that, or that people are aware, and so that we can just make adjustments in his training.
Okay. We've seen quite a bit of change in Champion. Obviously, he's a raw, naturally gifted athlete, very talented guy. So when he walked in your doors, two things: what was the main focus that you guys had in mind? Said, okay, look, we've got this guy, we know he's a massive talent, but we see holes here, there, and there. We need to do X, Y, and Z. And how much has he changed as an athlete from the day he first arrived to where he is now?
Yeah, well, going back, I've actually known Champion since he came to Cape Town. And when he after that Norman Vessel's loss, he came to me, and and we had a discussion, and I said to him, look, what we can do is we can actually form a team for him. We can help him achieve what he wants, because we really believe that he could actually get into the UFC. And we actually formulate a strategy, and I say we, as in Grind management, which is my brother Lester and myself. And we said, based on his abilities, we know he can be in the UFC within 2 or 3 years. And unfortunately, we're on that 3-year mark, and he's actually made it. And so we got a couple of trainers together. Also, Champion, he's got that raw talent, but he needed to express himself more. I felt he was kind of closed in one dynamic. So we try to get him just to express himself more, try to release his natural game, which is that raw power. He's also got that aggression when he needs to as well, which is mainly really in the cage. Outside the cage, he's not aggressive at all.
Sure. There was a marquee moment for me watching his career, and I think that was the Lombard fight, because we had come accustomed to this judoka player. We knew he was dangerous in a lot of areas. Was that something you guys expected along the line, to see such a knockout, for him to kind of say, look, I am a serious contender, I do have more than what people see as judo? And do you think that there was a big turning point in his confidence?
It was a great turning point for his confidence. Like, fight camps don't always go according to plan. You have a set strategy, a set plan that you want to implement, and things don't always go according to plan. And we knew that we knew he was going to pressurize it. So when he came, he actually walked straight into what we wanted. And and Champion's got the knockout power. And unfortunately for Bado, he walked straight into it. So that's it was just great for that to actually happen, and it was good for him just to actually get that, that knockout.
Sorry, Gareth, we've lost your screen there a little bit.
Sorry.
No problem. There we go.
So I just had another call. It was actually Champion calling me.
No problem.
For him just to get that knockout power was great, because he needed that in terms of he's had the submissions wins, he had the decision wins, he needed a knockout, a finish, and it came at the perfect moment for his career.
Do you think in terms of the UFC, looking at a big knockout finish, obviously like a highlight reel knockout over an international opponent?
Sorry, you just went a little bit soft there.
Is that better?
Yeah.
Do you think in terms of the UFC, like a big highlight reel knockout like that against the international opponent obviously helped his case in signing for them?
Yeah, I think it did help. I think it definitely helped. His takedowns, his highlight reel is awesome to actually watch. I'll watch it every now and again. I get excited every time I see it. Just to have that knockout and those finishes, those takedowns, it definitely helps.
100%.
So I just want to, 1 second.
No problem.
My speaker has gone off. Okay.
Better.
Yeah.
Cool. I just wanted to go back. You mentioned about gyms and not being one single gym. So just talk us through how that's made up. Obviously, it's you guys and which other gyms are filtering in for Champions Camp.
Okay, so Team Champion is its majority is Camp Fight.
Yeah.
Okay. And then we've got he's got boxing with Boxmaster, so he does quite a bit of boxing there. Then he's got G-Force, with his judo and some fitness as well. Obviously, fitness is in all of it. And then he also trains with the Bulgarian team, and I know that they help him quite a bit as well. But that's the main camps. And then, like with the last fight, we needed to bring a specialist in, and so we brought Rico Hatting in, and he was a great asset to the team, and he helped us a lot.
Okay. That's nice. It's nice to see guys like cross training and seeking out like specialists and stuff like that. I think that's very important in the modern game, and I think it shows who you guys are, to say, look, we aren't perhaps the best boxing specialists, so seek some boxing here and stuff like that. And I think that's very commendable, especially for what's to come in the UFC.
Yes, it is.
What I wanted to ask you is let's talk about this UFC deal and how it all came about. Is it something that was like a long-winded sort of thing, like you guys had been in contact for a while, or was it a spur of the moment, kind of notch up this win and the UFC's a done deal?
Look, the deal just... UFC initially made contact with us about 2 years ago and said, "Hey, look here, you're on our radar."
Okay.
But then they went quiet, and then we actually got a ONE FC deal, and we had some other offers as well for fights in Europe as well. But the ONE FC is something that we really considered, and we really thought was a good fit for Champ. And then while we were in negotiations about possible release, etc., with EFC, the UFC contract came in, and we were like, okay, cool. We did say to Champ, look here, what do you want to do? But obviously the dream has always been UFC, and we went ahead. So managed to sign up.
Okay. And I just want to clarify. He said in the press conference that that's at light heavyweight.
Yes, yeah.
Okay.
It's light heavyweight, yeah.
Okay. So
Look, ideally we want him just to go middleweight. That's for us. That is ideal. But Champion's also got to, a lot of fighting is mental preparedness, and he doesn't feel confident with losing the weight and losing the power. So we've got to get him to middleweight with his confidence before we actually take on that challenge. And that is something that we do want to do, though.
okay.
But it's not the focus at the moment. The focus is light heavyweight.
Okay. Fantastic. And just talk to me about how you guys are feeling. I mean,